Hello and welcome back to Health, Wellbeing and Lifestyle. And today we have Deb Stathis, who's a personal and professional success coach. And she's here today to talk to us about steps to success. Welcome, Deb.
Thank you. Thanks, Linda.
So you talk about going from trauma to opportunities.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Absolutely. So trauma provides us with a unique position where we can actually create opportunities. And what we do there is we shift our focus to look at the lesson, what we've learned within that experience of trauma, challenge, adversity, stress as well. And then what we can do is we shift our focus to that lesson, what we've learned, and we then choose to use the knowledge that we have gained there to improve ourselves and our life. I actually call this a tragic opportunity. So the tragedy is the stress, challenge, emotions, pain experience. The opportunity comes from how we choose to focus on the learning and improve ourselves and our life.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Can you tell us a bit more then about from there going with some of those steps that you talk about?
Oh, absolutely. Creating, like I said, what I call a tragic opportunity is a two-step process. So we start off with personal assessment. So personal assessment is a review of ourself, our beliefs, our behaviours and our emotions. And the aim is to develop a deeper understanding into ourself and into our trauma and our challenges and the way we have interpreted them in order to then shift our perspective for the better and learn about ourselves. The next step is the action plan, which is key. So the action plan is then taking the knowledge that we gain in personal assessment and using that to improve ourselves, make better decisions and choices, and improve all areas of our life.
Okay, what would be an example of something, for instance, that comes up in daily life that you could say this is how I can look at it differently? Or
it actually comes up every single day. And I create tragic opportunities for myself all the time when I'm particularly getting very stressed out, perhaps with trying to juggle everything. I'm a mum of 2 young children, and it can be really hard sometimes to just get out of the door, and you've got 2 screaming children and you've got to get to a meeting on time, you've maybe forgotten your briefcase or whatever it is. And it's easy to think, oh God, nothing ever goes my way. Or you can flip and say, okay, this feeling right now, what is it doing? Is it giving me the opportunity to think about why I'm acting this way? What is it that is making me so frantic? Is it the sound of the children? Like for myself, I've been through a lot of trauma, so sometimes a lot of loud noises when my children get very frantic actually sparks a bit of the PTSD. So for me, I need to stop for a moment and take that opportunity to grow and say, they're children. This is not noise that is negative. This is positive noise. Actually, they're beautiful, fun children. If I run with this, I'll actually get out of the door quicker. So the opportunity is to get them on board, learn about why I'm getting frantic in that scenario, and actually improve the environment and get out the door happily instead of frantically.
How can we have, for the viewers, what could they do in their daily lives to create success from trauma, as you talk about?
What's really important is self-reflection and thinking about how and why we do things, and that's where the two-step process comes in. So when we're faced with a challenge, stress, trauma, taking that time to sit and reflect on why we made certain decisions and why we feel the way we do in certain situations enables us to gain incredible insight into ourselves and into how and why we do things. By doing so, we can identify what serves us and what doesn't. This then enables us to make better decisions for ourselves, for our life, to improve our relationships, because we understand where perhaps we don't have the most empowered perspective, or perhaps our perspective has been warped due to stress, trauma, our previous experiences, childhood, etc. So we can really use that knowledge to change every day of our life and every aspect of our life.
For our viewers out there, how would people apply this in their life? What would be the top tip that you would suggest to them?
The top tip is taking action. So we can do as much personal development and assessment as we like, and that's great. However, if we don't take action, if we don't change things that we do every single day and actively work on ourselves and change our perspective, nothing will change in our life. So what it's really important to remember is that it doesn't really matter, for lack of a better way of saying it, what's happened in our childhood or what trauma and stress we've had. We actually can be empowered to change that and have a happy and fulfilled future by taking action to change how we behave every day and the way we view life by using the knowledge that we gain by looking into ourselves.
Oh, thanks so much, Deb, for that.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. And for more information on Deb Stathis and Steps to Success, please go to our website healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And now we'll go to break. And after the break, we'll be back with Mark Corazzo talking about the meaning of life. Welcome back, and next we have Mark Corazzo, our business consultant and coach, and as part of the Positive Psychology series, he's talking to us today about the importance of meaning. Welcome, Mark.
Welcome, Linda.
Yeah. So what does this mean? What do you mean by the meaning of life?
Well, by the meaning of life, I'm not talking about the deeply philosophical question of what is the meaning of our lives. I'm talking about something larger in our lives than ourselves, which gives us purpose and motivation. It's a very important concept. It's been proven to be so, and it's unique to every individual. So it's the thing that drives us every day, Linda.
And why is finding meaning so important?
Well, it gives us our drive and motivation in life. It's a set of goals for us, something that we can measure our life by every now and then. And of course, when we achieve certain steps on the road to our goal, we feel a sense of accomplishment. Now, so far as the research suggests, if we've got people that are in the later stages of their life, we find that they're more likely to live longer if they've got a sense of meaning and purpose. And we also know that people that have meaning and purpose in life are generally happier, have better well-being, better physical and mental health, and are less likely to suffer from depression. So meaning is really one of the very most important pillars in the positive psychology area. And one particular person whose work in this area I respect is an Australian psychiatrist and neurologist called Viktor Frankl. He's also a Holocaust survivor, and he believes a firm sense of meaning is absolutely essential to human flourishing. And he used meaning in order to motivate people around him going through the very distressing circumstances that are really hard to imagine for anybody. Through the Holocaust, he motivated people to want to live on by reminding them or pointing to their purpose and meaning in life. So he's very, very well equipped to talk about the importance of meaning, Linda.
And so would that change through our lives?
Yeah, I think the meaning of our life or our purpose changes throughout the course of our lives. I know for many people, having children is a classic example of where their focus and attention might change. There'll be other people out there whose purpose of life might be to assist with the environment or to leave the world in a better place. Other people find meaning from religions and formal faiths and observances like that. But yes, it does change through the course of our lives.
And if you don't find meaning during your life, what can you do about it?
It's a hard question. I think some of us forget to really contemplate what the meaning and purpose of our lives would be. So the first thing I'd say is to do that. If you're not getting anywhere with that, I'd go back to the other basic important pillars leading to well-being, which are connection and relationships. I'd focus on them. I'd focus on acts of kindness, maybe volunteering, some sort of social benefit from what you're doing with your life. So engagement in activities is also very important. Find something that you enjoy doing and get yourself immersed in that. And I tend to suspect that eventually meaning or purpose will reveal itself whilst you're doing those processes, Linda.
And what about during your work or other routine things? How would you find meaning during those times?
It's really important that we find meaning in what we do. In fact, the evidence out there suggests that people that can find some sort of social benefit in what they're doing or something within their work that they care for perform a lot better. So I think we need to look at our work and look at what the ultimate outcome is of what we do to find where we find some relevance to it. People like that who see their work as a calling perform better, enjoy their work more, and obviously enhance their whole life. So yes, we can get meaning out of work, and we should. And it's also worth considering what we get out of the mundane tasks we do at home. We might view something as simple as washing the dishes or vacuuming as fairly unimportant work. But if we look at it in the context of what it's doing to ensure a happy household, then we're obviously going to feel more satisfied while we do it and perform it better when we do it. And there is a bit of research done on hospital cleaners. The first group of hospital cleaners saw their work as lowly skilled and unimportant. The second group, the ones that perform better, saw their work as something that bettered the lives of patients and medical staff. So it's sometimes changing the way you see things, and the things you see will change. So that's very important in finding meaning.
And how would finding meaning help in relationships in your life?
Well, I think when you're doing something that you enjoy doing, you're going to obviously put a lot of energy into it. You're going to find people of the same interests of you. So you've got that bond before it starts. So finding meaning in what you want to do and getting involved in activities that involve other people is going to impliedly enhance a lot of your relationships and connectedness, Linda.
And would there be any more tips that you could give our viewers?
No, just that. I think start with the basics of what we believe is important for well-being. Look to relationships, look to engagement, look to kindness and care, and also try to look at what you're doing and work through the processes until you find some meaning in it for others, and that will give you the start of a sense of purpose.
You'll be back next week to talk to us more about relationships. So for more about Mark Corazzo and the meaning of life, then please go to our website healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And after the break, we'll be back with Pauline Healy, and she'll be talking to us about aged care and answering some of our viewers' questions. Welcome back, and now we have Pauline Healy, aged care advocate and placement specialist. And Pauline's here today answering some viewers' questions and also talking to us about a new Royal Commission into aged care. Welcome, Pauline.
Hello. Thank you for having me back. It's a pleasure. And I'm really excited to know that we've had a great response from the last episodes, and there's a lot of questions there. So let's hope today we can answer some of them.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll just read this. One question we had is many viewers said they've had to go into the My Aged Care website and found it difficult.
Yes.
In fact, one viewer is 94 years old, gave up trying and ended up going up on his roof to clean his gutters himself. So,
Okay. Well,
how do they get there? How do they find out this information?
there is help available for people. So if they're finding it difficult to access My Aged Care, there are professionals that can assist you. And the best way to do that is to look up aged care advocate or aged care placement specialist. And that way we'll be able to help navigate the system for them, answer any questions they've got, and access the options to aged care and explain the process moving forward for them. So it's, it can be a very difficult system to navigate. The Royal Commission has actually put that into their interim report, explaining that they've got a very good understanding and a lot of submissions from the consumers to state that they're just not able to understand or access the website and get the answers that they need. So again, my suggestion would be to ask for some private help and to be able to look that up for a professional to help them.
And another question we had was we have a lady who wants to go to into aged care, She has a house. Does she have to sell her house?
Okay, well, this is a question that I get a lot. It will actually depend on her assets and her means to be able to pay for the cost of care. So depending on her assets and her income, she may be able to retain her home. She might have a good bank balance, she might have superannuation, her income stream might be hefty. So therefore, she would be able to afford to not sell the home. And of course, moving into aged care, you do get 52 nights away from the facility. She might want to go and bring a carer home and stay every Saturday night, and she can do that if she can afford to keep her home. What will determine whether or not she can afford to do that? Obviously, through an advocate or placement specialist, you have access to financial advice, and therefore we would address that situation and we would find out whether or not that would be affordable. So for this particular viewer, or any particular viewers, if they're within, there are certain thresholds which, if you are under a certain threshold, you may not even have to pay for your accommodation. If you're over a particular threshold, then you will have to pay for your accommodation. And it can be very difficult to understand, but there are again professional people that will help you with that. And I'm assuming for this particular lady that she might have, say for example, $100,000 in the bank. She would be able to fund her care, which comes in three parts. You've got a basic daily care fee. The basic daily care fee everybody pays, and currently it's $51.63, which equates to 85% of the pension. On top of that fee, at $100,000 and her home, she may well be in need of paying a means-tested care fee, which is additional to the basic care fee. If you have the means to pay it, you are to contribute towards your daily care, which could actually be in and around $200 a day, for example. So the government fund the rest and you pay the basic fee. Then if you have the means, it will be dollar for dollar or up to a certain particular point. And I believe it's 60 odd thousand in a lifetime that you would ever pay that, and it caps at around 27,000 odd per year. So your means, if she has 100,000, it could well look like $10 a day or $5 a day means tested care fee. So you're looking at your basic daily care fee, your means tested fee, and then because she has her home and that tells us she's over the supported threshold, she then would look at having the home as an asset as well. So therefore, she will be what we consider a RAD payer, which is a refundable accommodation deposit. In the terminology of aged care, RAD, she would pay a RAD. So therefore, it would be up to a financial advisor to advise her whether or not she has the funds to pay for those fees, which could equate to $150 to $200 a day, if not more. The likelihood of that, most people do decide that they would sell their home to fund the RAD.
Well, that's great, Pauline. I'm sure that'll be a bit clearer for our viewer and viewers out there.
Yes.
And you were going to talk a bit to us about this new interim report.
Yes, I have. I've got it in front of me in my hot little hands. It came out in October, end of October. It is the interim report for the Royal Commission into Aged Care Quality and Safety. So what we're looking for is obviously fixing the aged care system that we have. And as I mentioned in the last segments, I've been a part of the submission for the Royal Commission, and we have got some fantastic progress in that. The final report will come out in November 2020, and they are still taking submissions to that, and you can go to the Royal Commission's website if you wanted to submit any submissions for that. So Linda, the final thing that the Royal Commission are looking into is the My Aged Care portal. So that'll be good for those viewers to know. They are looking into it. They've found that it's hard to navigate and it doesn't provide people the information that they require. So there you go.
Good.
There's a
Pauline.
cap.
Thanks, Pauline.
No problem.
And for more information on Pauline Healy and aged care, then please go to our website healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And for now, we'll say bye-bye. Thank you for watching Health, Wellbeing and Lifestyle. And next week, we'll be back with more topics and information on education and inspiration around healthy life and quality lifestyle.